Hey guys, and welcome back to the channel. I'm Dazzling Dave, and this is going to be my latest Wolves update. With the Premier League restarting this week and Wolves back in action next weekend, let's have a look at what the match day will be like and the rules that are in place that will affect the players and the fans, all coming up next. So as said, I'm going to be concentrating on in this Wolves update on the match day experience for the players and everyone else surrounding the game, and also obviously how that's going to affect the fans. Before I get onto that, just want to say a massive thank you for everyone so far that's voted for me in the final of the Football Content Awards 2020. If you do want to vote for me, check out my previous video to that, or I'll put a link in the description and also at the end. Also, well done to Mel Walters, one of my subscribers, who correctly counted that I had 11 shirts in that wall shirt thing with the competition. Look out for the question coming up on this one. You're going to have to be shrewd to know the answer, and that will come up later in the video. So what is a Premier League match day going to be like? Obviously it's going to be completely different to anything we've known. We've sort of had a little bit of a sample from seeing what's been going on in the Bundesliga, but obviously this is the Premier League. It's great news that the Premier League is restarting with all the issues surrounding finishing the season and all that, and obviously the Championship has started. League One has curtailed their season as well, and also with League Two. But let's concentrate on the Premier League. It's back, and our team, Wolverhampton Wanderers, and match days. So before every game, as you would expect, the grounds are going to be deep cleaned in terms of like the goalposts and anything that the players might touch, such as the balls. There's going to be no ball boys, which is obviously sensible, and every time the ball goes out of play, obviously they'll get a new ball, and the balls that's gone out of play, they're going to be properly cleaned. From what I understand, if there is a goal, they can't like high five or go jumping and celebrating. Cody might have to curtail his celebrations, as is what he does. Yeah, there will be obviously be celebrating, but it won't be able to be like it normally is on a match day. And there will be 300 people that will be allowed in the stadium, and that's going to be separated into zones. You're going to have a red zone, which is going to basically be the players up to 20 players, because obviously they can have now 9 subs on the bench, and then you've got the coaches, medical staff, so there'll be 37 total that can be on that. And then you're going to have the broadcasters, which are going to have about another 98. There's going to be 25 up to 25 written journalists and 15 radio journalists, and then the rest of the people that are there to support, a total of up to 300 people in the stadium total at this point. Obviously then you've also got the referees and the linesmen, and of course we will have the return of that controversial, we've not heard it for a while, have we? It's gone away a little bit, and that is VAR. VAR will be in operation, obviously still managed from Stockley Park, and the actual assistant referees are there. They will be socially distanced at a safe distance to be able to perform their tasks. We talked about the 9 substitutes on the bench. That is because there will now be allowed 5 substitutions that each team can make during the game instead of the 3. I believe that this is obviously going to be a temporary measure, and that's basically to help with regards to players' fitness. And I think that each team can only make, they can't slow the game down by making 1 substitute, then another, then another. The maximum of 3 times they can make the substitutions, including at half time, because otherwise the game will get slowed down quite a lot, wouldn't it? But that's the reason for why I think that's only temporary until we can get back to some form of normality. Also, if it's possible at all, the benches for the players to sit on again will be spaced out, so again there can be social distancing in place. Also being reported that the pre-match team talk can only last up to 15 minutes in the changing rooms, and the walkout is going to be very different as well. you know, if there's two tunnels that they can use, they'll have one team come out of one and the other one out the other. If there's only the one tunnel, the away team will come out first, then followed by the home team, and then followed by the officials. They're still going to keep in the coin toss, and they're still going to keep in the Premier League anthem. Obviously the handshakes and all that sort of jazz will go for the time being, but that's what's going to happen when they come out actually onto the game. There's also at the opening match reportedly going to be a minute's silence in respect for the sacrifices made by the key workers and the NHS, and there's also said that there's going to be an NHS heart on the actual kits as well. And obviously in the news at the moment, obviously because of that horrific incident in America, and obviously topical, the Black Lives Matter campaign, there is reports that also that will be on the shirts. There's talk about it being put on the back in place of the players' names, or it might be elsewhere. That's still to be confirmed at the moment, but that's been reported in the press around the country. So before I get on to the matchday experience for fans and a couple of other little bits of Wolves news, the question this week is, on one of my previous vlogs I did a thing about what to watch on TV and all that sort of jazz. What was the main programme that I recommended you watch? If you've watched that vlog, you'll be able to give the answer. If you've not, have a check it out and put the answer below, and obviously on the next video you'll get the chance for a shout out if you get it correct. So on to the fan experience and the match experience. If we watched the Olympiacos, we watched that, and obviously the game was without the fans is nothing. So broadcasters are looking at ways, and football clubs are looking at ways to try and create a better experience for the players and also for the fans watching. For example, some clubs abroad have got these cardboard cutouts that they've done, as I talk of some Premier League clubs doing that. Wolves have initially gone for a giant flag, a mosaic of flags, something that I've got and purchased with and sent a picture off of me, my dad, and obviously Bill, aka Sean Connery, who passed away, so we can be kind of in the stadium together in spirit. In terms of the broadcasters, Sky, who've obviously got 64 of these games for definite, they've come out with basically saying that there's going to be options for fans to watch along on their content together with their friends. There will be options as well particularly with the crowd noise that you can switch on or off, or even have digital fans superimposed into the stadium to create the atmosphere. Obviously there should be the commentary. They've teamed up a bit with EA Sports, and if you watch FIFA and stuff like that, they create atmosphere. They're looking at that, and there's also going to be options where you can actually vote for what crowd noise and chants and stuff that you want to have playing as well. That would be interesting to see how that works out, and they've done this. They've spent the last couple of months looking to try and see how they can keep fans interacted with the game. Obviously Sky Sports, you know, they broadcast all over the world, don't they? And you know, and matches, and along with BT, Amazon, broadcast matches all over the world. But obviously the fans that go to the matches are going to be in there. Obviously each broadcaster are doing different things to sort of enable everyone to be able to watch the games, and the BBC, as I said, have got 4 matches, so it'd be interesting to see how that pans out and how that works, and something that I'll be hopefully reporting back on this channel as well. Yeah, so let me know what you're obviously thinking about all of that and the question. Just on a couple of little bits of Wolves news, not doing massive specifics on transfers or anything on this one. Obviously, the women's game, the top 2 divisions, they've done low promotion, champions and relegation. Wolves women so far ahead in their league, 9 points, smashing it. And we talked, you know, it's just so sad that all that hard work that they put in, you know, and the season's basically resetting. I do feel that's harsh personally, and I'm sure any Wolves fan and most football fans would think that's harsh as well, but you know, they'll come back stronger next year. Wolves preparations have obviously stepped up. They had that behind closed door match against Forest with a mixture of players and under 23s, and Forest won that game 2-0. And then over the weekend they're playing another game away at St Andrews against Birmingham, and I think that will be their last match before we go into the games against West Ham, you know, in a week's time at the London Stadium. West Ham with a lot to play for. Wolves, 9 games with a lot to play for. How are you thinking Wolves are going to do? Do you think we can make that top 4? Do you think we'll fall just short? You know, and there's also reports in terms of the Europa League as well, isn't there, that they've been looking at moving it to Frankfurt, because the infrastructure over there, Frankfurt, massive city, absolutely ginormous airport, went through there on one of the away games, and they're looking at running the Europa League in August if Wolves can get through to the last 8 in like a mini tournament, quarters, semis and then finals. And they have been talking about, haven't they, the FA Cup final, the FA allowing up to 10,000 fans in, not sure whether from either side or total, obviously spread out, so there's fans at the stadium for that. Would that be the case a month later in the Europa League? That would be absolutely amazing if Wolves were to get through and do that, and fans could go and watch. But we'll wait and see what happens. Really hope that you've found this video of value. Please smash the like if you have. Leave your comments below, answer that question, because I will be picking one out for the next video after that. And if you've not already done so, would really appreciate your support in voting for the channel on the Football Content Awards. And there'll be a video tag on the end and in the description below on that, which you can support. Please feel free to let other Wolves fans know and share. And yeah, if you're brand new around here, please consider subscribing and hit that bell button on full, because you'll always be first to be notified of all new uploads. Really hope you've enjoyed this video and this content, and you found some of the information interesting. Until the next one, I'm Dazzling Dave, always Wolves.